Hello my dear friends, my name is Sanne and welcome back to another beauty video. I know I'm sitting in a bit of a weird location today. That's also why the audio is a bit because it echoes a tiny bit in here. But we're at my parents' place and I just wanted to film. Like usually in my background you can see my lovely tiny cozy little room with loads of cool lights and whatever, and I absolutely love my room. But I am currently not there a lot of the time, just maybe one day a week, and I don't have that much time to actually film. So if I do want to keep filming and making content, I have like one day a week to film, which is not that much, or I film in a different spot every once in a while. So this is why I'm sitting here currently. I have my laptop here as well. So I'm sitting behind the table. I'm feeling very like professional and everything. What we're gonna do today. We're gonna do a little anti-haul. It has been a while since I've done an anti-haul, but we're just gonna go through some of the recent releases and we're gonna discuss them and we'll see how long the video gets. So just get cozy, grab yourself a cup of tea. I don't even have a cup of tea. Mad. Anyway, we're just gonna sit down. We're gonna have like a cozy little time. I'm gonna chat about a few releases, both mainstream brands and indie brands, because I love discussing all of them. And we're just gonna get through them. So let's get anti-hauling, shall we? I'm gonna be talking about makeup releases since the 1st of March. It is now the 24th of April, so that is, an approximate 2-month time span. So that is quite a lot of time for makeup brands to release a lot of things. There have been released quite a lot of things. So we're just gonna discuss them. I am just gonna go through some Instagram pages that share a lot of releases. We're just gonna go through and look at them and, discuss a release if I want to talk about it. But there are certain releases from certain brands that the brand itself just does not speak to me to begin with. And I probably wouldn't really ever buy anything from that brand. So I also don't find it extremely interesting to discuss their release, especially if it's already like a non-exciting release like foundation or something like that. So we're not going to talk about all of it. I'm going to skip stuff that I just don't find interesting but also not interesting enough to talk about. But we're mainly going to discuss a lot of eyeshadow because that's my favorite thing. A lot of indie releases and blush and whatever. But we're just going to get started. And I'm first going to go through the Trend Mood page because Trend Mood posts a lot. So, you can keep at least a little bit updated. There are already quite some releases that I'm looking at here that this is just not interesting to me. A Dior couture lipstick case. I have no relation, no attachment to couture whatsoever. And especially not high-end couture makeup. It is not my makeup style. I don't find the luxury idea behind it that much like enticing enough for me to buy anything that's this expensive. So stuff like this is like a really easy skip for me, and it's also not that interesting for me to talk about because most of the high-end releases are just boring to me. They're basic lipstick shades, they're basic eyeshadow palettes, neutrals, stuff that I don't find interesting to have in the first place at all. It's just not interesting for me to talk about in the first place because I just don't find it interesting. Oh, we have these things. Okay, so we have the brand Honeydew. I think that's how you would pronounce it. I have never heard of this brand before whatsoever, but they released a strawberry shortcake collection, which I think in general having these types of collabs with like nostalgic cartoons or toys or whatever is very interesting to me. It speaks to me also. I'm still a child at heart, so I love nostalgic things, but this collection is just atrocious to me. Not specifically the eyeshadows or anything, but the shapes of those palettes. Why would I want a strawberry shortcake shaped palette that has just the pans at like different heights and like different, like almost in a mosaic way just to fit in the shades, and it's just so bulky, the packaging, and it just doesn't make sense. I hate it. I hate it so much. The packaging is so distracting for me. And I already hate the packaging so much that I just also cannot really look at the shades inside. The packaging is just too distracting for me. Like, of course the packaging looks cute, like the outside, but I would just rather have a couple square packagings with like a lovely drawing of one of the strawberry shortcake characters and them, like, I don't know, doing some stuff. Also, maybe it's me. I've never really watched Strawberry Shortcake, so I appreciate brands doing nostalgic releases, but this release to me is not nostalgic at all. So it doesn't add anything, and I'm also not like, oh my god, this is my favorite Strawberry Shortcake character, so I need this palette. That's not what I'm like at all, because I've never watched the show. Then we have a collection that I was very excited about, still am, but I haven't gotten anything from it, and I might not for a little while. And that is the Shall We Makeup Stray Birds collection, which I'm excited about. I have tried Shall We Makeup before, and they sent me some of their earlier releases in PR, which I am extremely grateful for. I loved trying their products a lot. But they now came out with 12 single shadows. They did have single shadow multi-chromes before, but they were very, like, the top 5 generic multi-chromes that you could get from private labeled companies and whatever. I feel like they were very basic. Like, if you were googling a multi-chrome, that was the multi-chrome you could get. And they were in like separate packagings per shade. Now they released 12 absolutely beautiful multi-chrome, duochrome, shimmery, sparkly shades that I feel like are much more unique. Also, the level of uniqueness is still questionable in the case that the market is just really saturated with multi-chromes and duochromes at this moment. So it is just very difficult to create anything unique. I have not looked at comparison swatches between these Shall We Makeup eyeshadows and other eyeshadows yet, which maybe I should do, because I'm really interested in trying these, but I also feel like they are a bit expensive compared to other brands that I've seen, but they do look absolutely beautiful, and I really like the packaging that you can buy with it. They look beautiful. They're right up my alley. Pinks, purples, yellows, and greens. Those are all my favorite shades, you know they are. And they just look absolutely stunning. They really do. Okay, then I quickly want to talk about the Catrice and Essence Cosmetics collections, because they usually do combined collections. They call it sister collections, I think, because you know, they are sister brands. They all, both of them, fall under Cosnova. Cosnova is the mother brand. They just have a slightly different vibe. I feel like Essence is more catered towards teenage girls, while Catrice is a bit more mature, more in like packaging wise and aesthetic wise. But I really love their brands, especially Essence for base products. This collection is just face products and eyeshadow palettes. It is a Disney collection. They do Disney collection as sister collections a lot. They have done Disney villains, Disney princesses. Now this is Disney animals, I guess, because we have the Jungle Book collection and the Lion King collection. Jungle Book collection is by Catrice and the Lion King collection is by Essence. I like that. It's a bit combined, the collections, instead of just having a bunch of characters. So I can see Essence has 2 blushes and 3 eyeshadow palettes, and Catrice has 2 face palettes and 3 eyeshadow palettes. In my opinion, I don't like face palettes and such in these kinds of collections, because the collections are supposed to remain very small, and face palettes, for proper face palettes you need a range of at least 3 to cater to enough skin tones. At least 3. That's like the bare minimum, because these 2 palettes aren't gonna do well for most skin tones. So blushes are a tiny bit more versatile, but I feel like these are also not really catered to deeper skin tones. The eyeshadow palettes, the thing is, I don't mind the eyeshadow palettes. They're not ugly. The Catrice ones are confusing me a tiny bit though, with the split pan thing. I don't like it when palettes have split pans, but they only are named one shade. Like, if I'm gonna say I'm gonna use Creature, how do you know if I'm gonna use the matte shade or the shimmer shade? You know? I don't like that. but that's maybe my personal thing, but I just, it's not for me. I also feel like the reason I don't really use Essence and Catrice eyeshadow is just because it's a tiny bit too boring for me. They are catered to casual makeup users, everyday kind of makeup users, not colorful, not extremely sparkly, so it's just not for me. I think that the palette that speaks to me the most from all these is the Catrice one, the dark blue one. I don't know which one this is. It's the one with Baloo, Mowgli and Bagheera on it, because it has nice, more cool toned browns and a couple beautiful blues, which is just up my alley. But I have enough of that in my collection as is, so these palettes all in all don't speak to me at all. I'm not getting any of this. Okay, what else do we have? I also don't really like to talk about lip products that often unless they do speak to me or they are more interesting. Like this one, for example. NYX has expanded their Shine Loud collection with 6 shades, and they are truly interesting shades. I think they are really cool. Saw a Ghost Pepper, looks awesome. The thing is, I would be very interested in this. The thing is, I just tried my first Shine Loud lip color, like literally last week or something. I don't like it. I know these were all over the internet, especially during, the beginning of the pandemic, having a lip product that would actually stay on while wearing a lip mask. That's great, which it is. Don't get me wrong. The thing is, I have a darker shade. First of all, the shade, the tube, looks so different from the picture online. I had to apply the lipstick part of it 3 times, and every time it would get like patchy. I do like that it dries down and then you have the lip gloss on top of it, but it just did not look nice. I can include a picture, I've taken pictures, but close up especially, it just doesn't look nice in my opinion. Like it just does not look like a nice even color, a pretty lipstick. The color is nice, even though it's not the color I was expecting from the picture. I just don't, it's just patchy. With me being on an interesting lipstick color binge, I would probably get the orange one and the blue one from here. Like the Periwinkle blue, that's a nice color. Yeah, the one time I tried it, I did not like the formula, so I don't think I'm gonna try it. Okay, I had a little break and I have a cup of tea now, so, because this video's gonna be ages long. So I wanted to talk about these Urban Decay eyeliners because they look good. I have never tried anything from Urban Decay except for the All Nighter setting spray, which is one of my favorites. I also right now don't remember if there was any controversy surrounding Urban Decay or anything, but I feel like I don't see them mentioned that much in my community. Maybe it's because their products are just, not that interesting anymore, or they've had some kind of controversy. I don't know right now, I'm sorry. These eyeliner pens do look great, and I like that they have the grip, but it's the grip. That grip is not going to work for me because I can show you if I have a pen. I hold my pens in a really weird way. So usually, this is also where what these grips are made for, is that you can hold your pen like this, Point your finger, your thumb, and then you put your middle finger underneath and then you write like this, right? I don't write like that. The pen on my ring finger instead of my middle finger, and then I put both my middle finger and my pointer finger on top, and then my thumb goes over like that, and then I write like this. It's just like basically a fist. I'm just gonna punch someone, but there's a pen in between, and this is how I write, and that's how I've written all my life. Those ergonomic grips aren't gonna work for me because I just can't write like this. Well, I can, but it's just less sturdy. Maybe it's because I shake so much, and this gives me more like grip, so I shake less. I don't know why I do that, but at least it means I can't use grips like that. But the colors do look really great. We have a lot of cool colors, like a bright light green, a yellow, a blue, a deep green, a light blue, and then brown, black, and white. I feel like that's a great color range to start out with. I'm very interested if they're gonna expand a tiny bit with like oranges, purples, pinks, reds, you know. But to start out with, it's great. It's a vegan formula, which I like. But $26 for an eyeliner? I see this person as well. Interesting. Everybody holds their pens / makeup brushes, etc. differently. I wonder what % of people this would actually work for and who it would make it harder for, which is my concern, because I don't think I can use these pens. The pictures, the promo pictures look great and the colors look beautiful. If the pens really have this amount of color payoff easily, they look absolutely great, but they do look nice. But also $28? I don't think so. Then we have the Colourpop Legend of Korra collection, because of course we're going to talk about multiple Colourpop collections in this video, because in 2 months time Colourpop came out with multiple collections for some reason. You know, they do be the fast fashion brand of makeup. I must say the packaging of these is great, lovely. So they have a pressed powder palette, a Super Shock highlighter, 2 graphic ink liners, 2 Fresh Kiss lip creams, and 4 chrome liquid eyeshadows. The chrome liquid eyeshadows disappointed me most, not because they're bad quality or anything, I haven't tried them. Seeing this collection revealed and I saw the tubes, I assumed they were lip glosses. And I was like, oh my god, they have amazing like blue, green, glittery lip glosses. Those are gonna look so cool, you know? I was a bit disappointed that they were liquid eyeshadows, because I'm not the biggest fan of liquid eyeshadows. And I just, they would have been so much cooler as glosses. And like the moment I saw them and I thought they were glosses, I was this close to ordering them. And then I realized they would be eyeshadows. I was like, never mind. And then the palette itself, I like the packaging. Colourpop is always great with packaging. That's just the case. I like that it is divided almost in the same way as the Avatar collection was. You know, we have some earth, fire, air, and water shades. So, you know, it's like an expanded rainbow, I guess, but it just doesn't interest me that much, and I feel like it also makes the palette maybe a tiny bit difficult to work with, you know? The graphic liners look cool. I do like the Korra shade a lot, the light blue, that is nice. And the lip creams are just basic. I love the Legend of Korra show, but this collection, there just wasn't really anything in it that really struck a chord with me. This piece has been annoying me the past hour. Anyway, it's not my favorite collection, let's just say that. Then we have an eyeshadow palette by Essence, ready for a ride. I must say, actually looks pretty cute. I'm not mad at it. Like I said before, I find Essence palettes to be very boring, very bland. This one at least has a lot more color going on. It's more of like an interesting rainbow with a bit more leaning to the pastel side, but that is also what scares me a bit, because Essence palettes are not known for their intense pigment. I feel like having pastel shades, they might turn a tiny bit ashy, you know? I do like the color story, just some neutrals, some blue, some purple, some pink. I do like it better in this digitally created picture than in the product pictures, because it looks a bit more ashy and a bit more neutral leaning in the regular picture, so that's a bit too bad. Then next we have the Root Cosmetics Mentos collection, which you all know I'm a big fan of Root Cosmetics, I really am. I have a few of their products. I have 2 of their eyeshadow palettes, and there's 2 of my favorite eyeshadow palettes in my collection. So I am always excited to see what they come out with. Sometimes I don't like their palettes at all. Like, they have giant 30 pan eyeshadow palettes that are just neutrals. I don't care for those at all, but I do love it when they come out with more colorful stuff, because I usually really like their vision. What I'm looking at here, the 2 palettes, they do jump out to me immediately, and I'm like, they look nice, especially the pastel one. I love pastels. So this one looks like really easy to work with. I love Root Cosmetics shimmers. They're some of my favorites, so I'm excited about it. What I'm less excited about is I feel like both palettes, the lower row, are glitters. If I can, yeah, I can't really tell very well, but they do look like glitters, and I am just not a fan of pressed glitters at all. They get everywhere, they get in my eyes. Sometimes they look nice, but sometimes they don't look nice at all. I don't really use them regularly, so having 5 pressed glitters in a palette is just too much for me. I do like the concept of it, having one bright rainbow palette and then a pastel rainbow palette. I think it's nice. And I also really like the brush sets. We have a face set and an eye set. I like when that is separated because so I do like the whole visualization of this collection. I like the colors, I like the brightness, I like how it's fun. I don't get why there's a Mentos collection because it's Mentos. Do people really care about Mentos? Like we could do with less food collabs in 2023, I think. Disregarding the fact that it's a Mentos collection, I like the packaging, the visualization. I do think the front of like most of the packaging is subtle Mentos. It's mostly polka dots and whatever, and it looks really cute. But the palette, it's straight up Mentos, and that's what I like less, because I don't want Mentos propaganda in my room, I guess. And I feel like almost every release currently is like a collaboration release. It's a bit annoying to me. Okay, next up we got the Nomad Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. I'm not gonna give this one too much attention. I like the general gist of it. The colors look nice together, the shimmers look nice. I do like how much time Nomad spends on their packaging and the detailing. I like that. What I don't like is how it's always, the themes are iffy. This one is also a bit iffy because it's like Royal Europe. Like this could just have been a gemstone palette. Also with the outside packaging looking like gemstones, just call it a gemstone and jewelry palette or something like that. It didn't need to be focused on Europe royalty, and especially like British royalty and whatever. I don't know, which is with the colonization history and oppression history. It's a bit iffy. They could have made it easier for themselves. That's more of my concern. It looks nice, but I'm not buying it. Then we have another collab, which why are there so many collabs? Can't brands just come out with their own collections anymore? Anyway, it's a small collab. It's the Elf and American Eagle collab. I have nothing with American Eagle, but I only have one thought about this collection, and that is that I think the packaging of the palette is really creative. It's just a straight up rectangle packaging, which I like, I like that. But it has the jeans texture, and then it has the label on it. That is really smart. I think that is great packaging. Just keep it simple so most people will enjoy it. Like also, it will be easy to store, easy to put away, easy to use. But just, make it that tiny bit more interesting. And just, the addition of that label, smart. Great packaging. The colors of the palette itself, I also really like. But that is because I am at my cool tone phase. So I like cool tone neutrals and blues. That's kind of my thing right now. So this palette, if I was looking for a neutral palette to add to my collection, I would buy this one. It's also only $16. If I was looking for a neutral palette, more like an everyday type of palette for me, I would have bought it, I think. Okay, then next we have a lip collection, which, I don't really talk about lip collections that often because I feel like most of them are boring, simple, whatever. These are boring and simple as well, this one. But they just look so nice. And I love the idea of lip sets, like having matching things so you can create a specific look. I love that. And these look luxurious. They look just nice. They look luscious. These look nice. These are the Dose of Colors and Urfa. I've never heard of Urfa before this collection, before I saw this collection. Still don't know who it is. I know she's gorgeous. She's absolutely beautiful. And these lip sets are beautiful as well. I think they look so nice. It's such a nice combination of the lip liner with the lipstick. It's really nice. They are $42, which I think is really expensive for 3 lip products, but you know, that's just my perspective. So I don't think I'd buy them, but I like looking at these pictures. These are nice lip products. They look luscious. Oh, and then we have a palette by Morphe, which confuses me, but that is because it has the exact same packaging as Too Faced makeup. Why? It's not like this is a collab. Like, if you have a collab with someone, I get that you change the shape and the appearance of your palette sometimes to adjust more towards the person that you're collabing with. But this, it's just another general Morphe palette. Why not just the basic Morphe packaging? Because if I were a Morphe fan and I'd have multiple Morphe palettes, I would want this one to be the same as the other ones. Unless, like I said, it would be a collab, then it would be a tiny bit different. But I don't understand it. Also, I don't like the Too Faced packaging. I think it looks boring and it looks cheap. So also, I feel like usually Morphe has like the nice round pans with the names of the shades next to it. You have no shade names in this. Maybe on the back, probably, yeah, it does have shade names. But like on the back, that palette is just boring. Also the shades, it screams boring to me. Then we have a beautiful, beautiful collection in my opinion. Blend Bunny came out with the Cheeky collection, I guess. They have the Juicy Cheeks face palette and what's it called? The Bare Cheeks face palette, which I think are great names. And both of these face palettes are beautiful. These blushes are so fun and colorful, and then the neutral ones are just so nice. And there's a range: deeper, less deep, colorful, brighter, more muted. There is a range. I like these. I'm not buying them now, but when I ever place an order, because I am planning on trying out Blend Bunny at some point, so then I will place an order for probably the Lure palette, and then I will include this blush palette, because this is stunning. The next we have the new shade in the Tower 28 collection, the cream blush collection. Multi-purpose tinted balm is what it's called. This is the shade Party Hour. It's a sun-kissed lavender pink, and I think it looks beautiful. Again, a much more unique shade. It's not the basic blush shade that everyone owns. I'm really interested in trying the Tower 28 collection in general. Their lip glosses and their cheek balms look gorgeous, and I really want to try them someday. And this is a beautiful shade. Then we have the Trixie Cosmetics Laganja Estranja collection, or eyeshadow palette, I think it is. No, it's a full collection. We have a 12 pen palette, a liquid lipstick, a lip gloss, a bag, and then you can buy the bundle. Okay, so it's a very small collection. I think it looks really fun and colorful. It has a little bit of everything, but I'm lacking some shimmers, I feel like. And I feel like it's just not really enough shades in there to really make it come together. But I do think this may be a great palette for drag queens, for example, because these are just the basic shades. You need like colorful stuff. A lot of people in the comments are saying it reminds them of Jafar, which I feel like, yes, in the way the colors are chosen. I feel like this could be a great replacement for people who liked Jafar's color stories but don't like Jafar, which hopefully is everyone. I think it looks nice, but it's just a bit too much of a basic rainbow palette for me to really use. I don't think I could get out of this what I'd want to get out of this. So, no. But I love the packaging, it's great. Then we have the Rare Beauty lip oils. And I feel like this is a product that I will also one day own. Just because, like, in a recent video I talked about brands that I still really want to try. One of which is Rare Beauty. And I want to try their mascara and their blushes. Like the liquid blushes, but also the cream blushes. They look beautiful. But I am also a big fan of lip oils. And these look so nice. And the way they stain your lips a bit, they just look so good. And I would really love to try them. But it's not really in my budget right now because they're $20 each. And also, I can't really get it that easily here, I think. Maybe I can order Rare Beauty somewhere online, but I can't swatch anything in stores, so maybe like if I'm somewhere on a trip and I find a Sephora and I can swatch it there, then maybe I'll spoil myself one day. But it will not be this day. Ooh, a collection that's absolutely beautiful again. Flower Nose released the Moonlight Mermaid collection, and you know I'm excited about Flower Nose. I was lucky enough to receive PR from them once, and the products are beautiful. I love them so much. The packaging is always so thought through and detailed. It's absolutely beautiful. Once again, and they also have perfumes now, and gosh, am I tempted by those perfumes, because they sound like something I would enjoy, and the packaging is just beautiful. Just from everything. Also that palette packaging, like the detail out on the outside, it's god. If you want to feel luxurious, this is the brand for you. And I'm really excited because I saw TikToks of someone who was in Japan in Don Quixote. They saw Flower Note, like they were just showing a video of the makeup section in Don Quixote, and I was like, is that Flower Nose right there? Pause the video, zoom. It is Flower Nose. So apparently there are stores in Japan that just sell these products in the stores, and I just wanna look at them and swatch them and put my little fingies in them, and then maybe bring one home, a baby, I don't know. Then it's in my Japan budget, so that's different. If I can find these perfumes, especially in Japan, I will buy one of them. If I enjoy the scent, of course, but then I can at least try it. That would be really nice. This is just a gorgeous collection again. Absolutely beautiful. And then we have another Colourpop collection because, of course, why won't we? I also saw, like, it wasn't just the two collections that I'm talking about today. There was also like pressed powder blushes and everything in between. There was, like, in 2 months' time, Colourpop has at least 3 big collections. No, and they had the shadow sticks as well. So 4. It's wild. Anyway, this is the Alice in Wonderland collection, which I am disappointed by. I love Alice in Wonderland. I really do. It just, to me, it's a really cozy and weird story. You know, I love weird things, and that is why I also really love the Tim Burton version of the movies. I love when stuff is creepy and weird, but not in a scary way, and it just has its own unique vibe, and that is Alice in Wonderland to me, and also just the original book and such. It just, that is it to me. It's just weird, and I like that. And then this collection, it doesn't feel weird enough. I do like that deep red lip gloss. I think that's the Queen of Hearts lip gloss. Great. It looks really fun, but I don't need the lipstick with it. It's just a generic red lipstick. I don't need it. So why can't I get it separately? Stupid. I don't need that tiny hairbrush. The lip balm thingy, the packaging is cute, but I don't know. I don't need it at all. I have enough lip balms. And the shadow sticks, they're funny. They're like fun colors at least. So that's nice, but I don't like shadow sticks that much at all. And then the palette is just, it's too boring for me. I don't think anywhere in any drawing, any visualization of this book, it was pastels. The thing about the movie is that it's so bright and colored and colorful and over the top and weird. And then the palette is just kind of pastel-y. Plus it has some really deep shimmers, which I don't like. I don't like it when you have light mattes and deep shimmers. Makes the shimmers very difficult to use. And you wouldn't reach for them. Only if you're doing like a more editorial look maybe, but the general person wouldn't really reach for them. So, I don't like it. Okay, so I just have a few tiny things that we're gonna race through because I have like 5 minutes left to film. First of all, we have these She Glam liquid highlighters. And the thing I find interesting about these is they're like shifty and multi-chromy. It's like really nice. They're really pretty. I don't support Shein whatsoever, so I won't be getting these. But they are budget proof. I don't know, maybe they are cruelty free or something, I have no clue. But they look so interesting. Some of the comments are like, oh, we've seen liquid highlighters a million times before, blah blah blah. But these are actually unique. These are multi-chromy, like Flying Comet. That is a beautiful shade. Absolutely stunning. I don't know where people are getting like, oh, we've seen this before. I don't think I have seen multi-chrome liquid highlighters before. The only cool multi-chrome highlighters that I really know of are Kaleidos and Game Beauty. And that's it for like the multi-chrome highlighters in general. And then we have these. So they are really, really cool. And if there's anything I should ever get from Sheglam, it's something like this. But I'm not buying from Sheglam, they're not getting my money. But I must say these are nice. They look really, really nice. I haven't seen any other swatches of them, so no clue. But these ones look great. And then we have a few more eyeshadow palettes. So first of all, we have the Geology Wheat Belt eyeshadow palette. Last time I was interested in the Geology palette, I don't remember what it's called. Pilbara, I think. And then we have this one, and it looks so nice. I like the colors. Again, it's green and yellow, my favorite shades. I like the pop of orange to it. The blue confuses me a bit. I get that it matches the picture, like the blue sky, but the blue feels a bit out of place with not having like any matte that kind of matches with it, especially since most of the other shades are really warm toned. And then you suddenly have a blue. So I feel like the blue is a tiny bit out of place. But besides that, I really like the colors. I love the Geology packaging because it's a unique shape. It doesn't take up too much space. It is still like the pens take up all the space they need. There's no excessive packaging to it. But it's still really unique and you can recognize it. So I really enjoy that. It's really nice. Moira Cosmetics actually came out with two new palettes, which look really nice. I think they look really, really fun and colorful. They're right up my alley. That blue and purple one especially, you know that's right up my alley. You know it is. The other one, it feels a bit more all over the place. But in general, it looks nice. The other one, the Magic Dreaming one, that one is my favorite. And I am interested to try some of these maybe one day, because I do love the Moira blushes that I have. Packaging wise, the detail that is put into it, I think it's very similar to Root Cosmetics. So I'm hoping the eyeshadow quality also is similar to Root Cosmetics. So I am really looking forward to maybe trying these one day. They're only $18.50, so that's really not that expensive. I would enjoy trying these out. Oh, I like that on top of the mirror is like a sticker with like the entry ticket outline. That's cute. I like that. Yeah, these are cute palettes, but maybe for the future somewhere. Lethal Cosmetics, the Wildflower collection. I think this is like a matching collection to their Nightflower collection or something. The palette looks nice. I think there are nice colors in there, but I think the range of colors and depths is a bit confusing to me. There's not really balance in there, but they are like, I think you can get, the shadows you can purchase individually. So that is nice. But yeah, I don't know. The palette itself, I wouldn't buy it as a palette. I'd maybe buy like 1 or 2 shades from it, but I wouldn't buy the palette itself. It just feels a tiny bit too all over the place and not really like a cohesive thing. But it's also maybe the way it is arranged. Maybe I would rearrange it and then it would just tickle my brain a tiny bit more. The blushes look great, especially the yellow blush. We love a yellow blush. And then the Push lip creams. I've never tried them. But they look interesting. They are nice deep shades, so they are pretty. But I feel like they don't really match the shades in the palette very well, in my opinion. But that may be just me. I don't know. But the yellow blush, I think that is the thing that really stands out to me in this collection. If I were to get anything, it would be the yellow blush. Because I don't have a yellow blush yet. And, maybe. But if I am getting the Juicy Cheeks palette from Blend Bunny, then I wouldn't get this yellow, because I think there was a yellow in there as well. So, but that yellow looks nice. It looks yummy, I feel like. Okay, and then we have the 4 Ace Beauté palettes from the Floral collection, which I think look a tiny bit basic. I just can't put my finger on them. On the one hand, I like them, but on the other hand, I'm like, when I look at them closely, I'm like, I don't really like it. Like, the palette itself, and I just glance at it, I'm like, oh, that's a nice color story, but then when I start to, like, dissect it, make looks in my brain, I'm like, I don't know. The purple one looks beautiful, though. I think that one might be my favorite. Then the yellow one, because I love yellows, and I like that it's a bit, like, a cohesive yellow story, which you don't really see that often. Because usually if you have a yellow palette, there's, like, one yellow in it, and that's it. The rest is brown, so I like that this one has a tiny bit more of that. And then the other one, the cool toned one with the green, I like that too. The neutral one is my least favorite, but I just don't like neutral palettes, that's just me. But yeah, I feel like the pen shapes are a tiny bit weird and not really what we're used to seeing from Ace Beauté, so I don't know. I really don't know what to think of them. They're not ugly. They look pretty. I haven't really seen many swatches of them or anything yet. They do look nice, but I just don't think they're for me. I don't think I think in like a week, I have forgotten about these altogether and I will never think of them again. That's how I feel about them. I think I'm gonna leave it there. There are of course many more releases over the past few weeks, especially in the indie makeup world. I see a lot of new upcoming indie makeup brands, so there's also a lot of new releases, but I just can't talk about all of them because I've been talking for an hour and a half. That's my overall opinion on everything. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me, and let me know what you think of all these collections. Like, do any jump out to you? Are you excited to try any of them? Let me know in the comments down below. If you want to see even more from me, my socials, my gaming channel, and everything else you need to know about me is all linked down below, so you can check that out as well. That's gonna be it for me today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'll see you next time. Toodles!